Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. I've got another exciting lettering tutorial for you today. I can't wait to practice with you. So today I'll be sharing how to stylize your lettering. So I've done a really similar video previously, but today we'll be using some really fun autumnal words instead. So get your pens ready and let's do some practicing. This time we're going to practice some autumnal words, and on this side we're going to do a simple version, so very minimalistic, very simple brush lettering, and on this side we're going to do a stylized version where we add a few flourishes and just a bit of character to each word. So simple is going to go here on the left and stylized is going to go here. So feel free to divide your page as well. And just to let you know, I'll be using my Pentel brush sign pen in black colour. I'll add a link for this, so you can always get it yourself. It's one of my favourite pens for thinner lettering. So it's got a very nice small tip and it's just perfect for that classic looking calligraphy. So I'm going to start with the word harvest. It's a really lovely word to letter in autumn. So let's go ahead and do the simple version first. So I'm going to start the letter H with just a simple downstroke like this, and then add on the second part of the letter and just carry on. I am still bouncing my letters, but I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm just kind of positioning them a bit higher or lower, changing the height of letters a little bit, just to kind of add a bit more style to it, but still keeping it simple. And to be honest, bouncy lettering is just my natural style, so it's fine if yours is more in a straight line. That's absolutely fine, embrace it. And I'm just going to add this cross line of the letter T and keep it very simple and straight. I'm not making a wave here. And I'm just thinking here, what could I add to this word to make it a bit more stylized? So maybe we could start the letter H with a lovely loop. So nice entry stroke, a little loop at the top. Maybe we could also add a little flourish, the letter R. And I think I'll focus on the cross line of the letter T and try to make it nice and big and wavy, kind of going above the word. So let's give this a go. So starting with a lovely entry flourish for the letter H. And then I'm still bouncing the letter down and up, catching the letter A. There we go. I'll do a little flourish on the letter R. So very quick and light movement. So we're not doing anything crazy here, just adding a little tiny flourish here. So make sure this part is nice and thin. So it's best if you focus on the tip of the brush and try to do it quickly. Right, so this is quite important here. Notice how I'm leaving a little gap here between the letter R and V, because obviously we do want a little space here. Just make sure the gap isn't too big. And I'm going to do the letter T at the end and just focus on that cross line. So maybe I'll start it from here, so nice and long. Something like this. So it definitely has a bit more character than this version, but still I think this is nice and easy to read and will definitely have its place. Lovely, let's do the next word, which is the word bonfire. And we're going to start the letter B in a very similar way, just a straight downstroke. I will add a little kind of loop here on my letter B. That's just the way I do my letter B. Yours might be a bit more simple, that's also fine. And I'm just carrying on in a very simple style. Kind of bouncy lettering, but nothing too crazy. Notice how I'm picking up my pen often in between the strokes, just having a little pause, deconstructing each letter into shapes. There we are. And I'm just thinking, what could we add to this word to make it a bit more interesting? So I think I'm going to start the letter B in the same way as the letter H here. So a lovely entry stroke, and then have a pause here. before you carry on with your word. And I might actually add a little flourish to the letter N, so very similar to this, maybe even a bit smaller. So just a tiny one, to be honest, because we do have a big letter F to follow, so we don't really want to take too much room here. And I might actually start the letter F from here. And just to balance it out at the top, because I think at the moment it's just quite a lot going on down here, I might actually add a little flourish at the end like this, just to kind of finish it properly with a nice exit stroke. So quite a lot going on here. Might have exaggerated a bit, but I think it still looks interesting. Yeah, that's definitely something to try, and it's a really good way to practice your flourishes as well. Right, let's do a shorter word to have a little break. So let's do the word cider. So starting nice and simple with the letter C. Going to keep the letter D very simple as well. Nice downstroke, nice and heavy. Remember to focus on the side of your brush pen and apply very heavy pressure when you go down. And when you go up, focus on the tip of the brush. Try to go very, very lightly. Here we go, very nice and simple. What I might do here is just add a little entry stroke for my letter D, and then use the letter R at the end to add like a bigger flourish below the word. Let's see how that works out. So starting here. So I'm doing the first part of the letter D, and then I'm picking up my pen and kind of doing this flourish that connects to that letter. I've done the first part of the letter R, and I'm just preparing myself for a bigger flourish here. Like this. So notice how I took a little pause. So this part of the letter R here, so once you do this loop, is a perfect place to pause and refocus before you do this big flourish. And when you do it, make sure to focus on the tip of the brush and do this very quick movement. Try to do this kind of infinity sign. So there's a lovely oval here, and there's a lovely oval forming here as well. So that's what we're looking for. What else could we do? Let's letter the word pumpkin. So that's obviously a lovely word. Might come in useful this season. So starting with a very simple letter P, nice and long. Imagining how it will go below the baseline, nice downstroke, nice and heavy. Then R done, second part of the letter, and just carry on. Notice how I'm bouncing the letter M all the way down before it comes back up. We've got another letter P here. Quite a tricky word, to be honest. Take your time. I mean, it could be even more simple because I did add a little loop here, and I kind of stylized my letters P as well. So I'm going to do a flourish version here because I don't have much room here. Because of this flourish, I should have started a bit lower, but it's fine. I'm just going to do it here. I might take the entry stroke with the letter K and start it from here and kind of do this bigger stroke. So I'll start it here and then just do the letter K here, similar to the letter D here, basically. I could also flourish the letter M, but I think it would just be too much. I think I'll just leave it as it is. And I might do a little flourish on the letter N. So nothing too much. I'm starting my letter P with a nice, lovely loop here. I've done, I've just kind of taken this last exit stroke that was quite spontaneous. I've just kind of taken it to the left a little bit, so that can look quite nice as well, so do give it a go. Ideally this part would have looked a bit more oval, so sometimes it does take a few times before you get there. So if it doesn't work out the first time you do it, just try again until you're happy with the results. Calligraphy is all about fine-tuning and practicing, and the more you practice the better you're going to get. So don't give up if the first time you try it doesn't look the way you want it to. And I'm sure that it does look really good anyway. We are definitely our worst critiques when it comes to things like that. Right, so let's do the last word, and it's going to be the word conquers. Again, a lovely word. I'm going to leave a bit of room here just to kind of balance out my words a bit more. So, conquers. Starting the letter C. This time, I'm going to leave my letter K very simple. So, I'm just going to do this straight down stroke. And then kind of R down here from the middle. So all the little entries throughout the letter K here will come from here. And I'll do something interesting to the letter S. I'll do this little inside flourish, which is a lot of fun. I'll show you. So I'm starting my word kind of normally here. So starting this letter K with a lovely loop. And I'm really bouncing this word here up and down. Notice how bouncy it looks. Might do a big loop on my letter R. And notice what I've done here. So I kind of flourish the inside of the letter S, which can look really good. So that's something you can definitely practice. So just to quickly recap all the flourishes we used in this lesson. So we used this little flourish for the letter R and the letter N. So very simple. Started a lot of letters with a lovely loop stroke like this. That can also look really nice. We also did that to the letter D, for example, to the letter K. That's a little easier one you can do. Then we did something a bit more interesting to the letter N. We kind of took this flourish to the left a bit more. We also did a bigger flourish for the letter R. Also try to flourish the inside of the letter S, like this. And the last one I'll show you here is the one we practiced for the word bonfire, where we ended the word with this little flourish. I hope you enjoyed this little exercise. So keep trying out different words, and if you have any word suggestions, I would love to hear them in the comments below. I really hope you enjoyed this lesson, and maybe you felt like you need to push yourself a little bit further in your lettering journey, which is always a good thing. Sometimes it does get a little bit harder just before you get better at something. So I really hope it inspired you to practice some different lettering styles. If you'd like to keep learning with me, I would love to see you at one of my online courses. I will add all the information below, so do check if you want to learn more techniques and just feel a bit more confident in your lettering journey. Thanks so much for watching this. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel for more tutorials, and I'll see you very soon.